What is the real difference between a stone tool and a smartphone? At first, the answer seems obvious. One is ancient. One is modern. One was shaped from rock. The other was built from glass, metal, electricity, and code. One belonged to a world of caves, forests, fire, and survival. The other belongs to a world of cities, satellites, schools, companies, and the internet. They look like opposites. But maybe they are not opposites at all. Maybe they are two chapters of the same story. A story about a strange animal. An animal with no claws. No thick fur. No powerful jaws. No wings. No armor. No great speed. And yet, this animal changed the planet. That animal was us. Humans did not survive because our bodies were the strongest. We survived because we learned how to build outside the body. A stone blade was not just a rock. It was an extra tooth. A basket was not just woven plants. It was extra arms. A spear was not just a stick. It was extra reach. Fire was not just heat. It was an artificial sun. A cave painting was not just a picture. It was memory placed on a wall. And a smartphone is not just a screen. It is a pocket-sized network of human cooperation. So the real question is not, which tool is better? The real question is much deeper. What do tools reveal about us? Most people tell the story in a very simple way. Ancient people had primitive tools. Modern people have advanced tools. So modern people must be smarter. That sounds right. But it is too simple. And in some ways, it is wrong. An ancient stone tool was not a mistake. It was not a random rock. It was not a sign that ancient humans were foolish. It was a carefully shaped solution. Someone had to look at a stone and imagine what it could become. Someone had to understand force, angle, sharpness, pressure, grip, use. A stone tool was thought made physical. It was an idea you could hold. And for a human standing in a dangerous world, that idea mattered. Imagine a small prehistoric human standing in an open landscape. The body is soft. The skin is thin. The hands are useful, but weak. The teeth are not impressive. The arms are not long enough. The legs are not fast enough. Nearby, there are animals with speed, strength, horns, claws, and better senses. A wolf could smell more. A deer could run faster. A bear could overpower. A bird could see farther. A human body alone was not enough. So humans made tools. Not because tools were decoration. Not because tools were luxury. But because tools solved the gap between what the body could do and what survival required. That is the key. A tool is a bridge between a human limit and a human need. The hand cannot cut well. So the hand holds a blade. The arm cannot carry enough. So the arm carries a basket. The mind cannot remember everything. So the mind makes marks. The voice cannot travel far enough. So the voice becomes writing. Then radio. Then phones. Then the internet. Every tool begins with a weakness. Then turns that weakness into power. Start with cutting. A stone blade and a modern steel knife look very different. One is rough. One is smooth. One was shaped by striking stone. One was made through mining, smelting, manufacturing, shipping, and design. But both answer the same problem. The human hand is not sharp. A stone blade extends the hand. A steel knife extends the hand. The modern knife is cleaner, stronger, more predictable. But the basic idea is the same. The body cannot do something well. So the tool does it better. Now think about fire. For ancient humans, fire was one of the greatest tools ever controlled. Fire changed the night. It changed food. It changed safety. It changed social life. A fire-making stick, a spark stone, or a burning branch may look simple to us. But in the ancient world, fire was a revolution. It turned effort into heat. It turned darkness into light. It turned raw food into cooked food. It turned a cold group into a gathering place. Now compare that with a modern lighter. A lighter seems small, almost boring. You press it, and fire appears. But that little object contains hidden work. Fuel had to be found. Metal had to be shaped. Parts had to be designed. Factories had to produce it. Trucks had to move it. Stores had to sell it. Rules had to make it safe enough to use. So the ancient fire tool and the modern lighter both answer the same need. But the modern tool hides more people inside it. That is one of the biggest differences between ancient and modern tools. Ancient tools often showed their story on the surface. You could see the stone. You could see the wood. You could see the fibers. You could see the hand that shaped them. Modern tools hide their story. You see the button. You see the screen. You see the smooth plastic. But you do not see the minds. The ships. The factories. The engineers. The standards. The power grid. The software. The laws. The trust. Modern tools are not only more complex. They are more invisible. Now think about carrying. A prehistoric basket might not look impressive next to a modern backpack. But the idea is powerful. The arms can only hold so much. A basket makes the arms bigger. It lets one person carry food, stones, shells, plants, tools, or supplies. It changes how far a person can move. It changes how much a group can store. It changes what a family can bring back. A modern backpack does the same thing. It carries books, food, a laptop, clothes, tools, medicine, water. It makes movement easier. It organizes weight. It protects objects. It frees the hands. Again, the same old human problem appears. The body has limits. The tool extends the body. But modern tools often add another layer. The backpack may contain a laptop. The laptop may contain books. The books may contain knowledge from thousands of minds. So the object is no longer just one tool. It becomes a container for other tools. A tool inside a tool. Inside another tool. This is how modern life works. We live inside layers of tools. Some are physical. Some are mental. Some are social. Some are invisible. Now think about memory. A human brain is powerful. But it forgets. It changes stories. It loses details. It cannot perfectly hold every map, every face, every lesson, every warning, every invention. So humans placed memory outside the brain. A mark on a cave wall could say, "This animal matters." A pattern on a bone could count something. A knot in a cord could hold a record. A drawing could survive after the person who made it was gone. That is a strange power. A thought can leave the body. It can stay behind. It can wait for another person. A file saved in the cloud does something similar. It holds memory outside the brain. A photo. A message. A map. A name. A document. A lesson. The tool changed from stone to code. But the purpose stayed the same. To make memory last longer than a human moment. This is why tools are not just objects. A tool is an idea with a body. It begins when someone notices a problem. The fruit is too high. The night is too dark. The load is too heavy. The distance is too far. The memory is too fragile. Then the mind does something strange. It imagines a way around the limit. A stick could reach. A flame could warm. A basket could carry. A mark could remember. A word could warn. A wheel could move. A machine could repeat. A phone could connect. Then comes testing. Then failure. Then adjustment. Then improvement. Then teaching. And that is where tools become truly powerful. One person can invent. but many people can preserve. One person can discover a better way to shape stone. But if that knowledge dies with them, the tool dies too. If they teach it, the tool survives. If the next person improves it, the tool grows. If the next generation remembers it, the tool becomes culture. This is collective learning. No single person has to start from nothing. A child is born into a world already filled with answers. They do not invent language from zero. They receive it. They do not invent fire from zero. They learn it. They do not invent writing from zero. They are taught it. They do not invent electricity from zero. They plug something in. Modern humans are not powerful because each person knows everything. Modern humans are powerful because each person inherits a world built by others. This is the hidden mechanism behind tools. A tool carries memory. A good tool is memory with a handle. That was true for a stone axe. It is true for a needle. It is true for a boat. It is true for a book. It is true for a laptop. It is true for a smartphone. But there is an important difference. Ancient tools were close to the body. You could often understand them by looking at them. A stone blade had a sharp edge. A basket had space inside. A bow stored tension. A spear extended the arm. A fire drill created heat through friction. The person using the tool often knew how it was made. Or at least knew someone who did. Modern tools are different. They are far from the body. A person can use a smartphone every day and not know how to make a screen. Or a battery. Or a chip. Or a camera. Or wireless network. Or an operating system. That does not make the person stupid. It means the tool depends on a system. The ancient tool asked for skill in the hand. The modern tool asks for trust in the system. When you tap a screen, you trust that the electricity works. You trust the network. You trust the software. You trust that someone designed the device correctly. You trust that maps are updated. You trust that messages will arrive. You trust strangers you will never meet. This is the big turn. A modern tool is rarely just one tool. A smartphone is not one invention. It is a bundle of older inventions. It is a map, a clock, a camera, a flashlight, a notebook, a calendar, a library, a mailbox, a calculator, a music player, a voice recorder, a translator, a payment system, a memory machine, a messenger, a window into other minds. It feels like one object because it fits in your hand. But inside it are many older human abilities folded together. And behind it is a world-sized chain of cooperation. Think about what has to exist before a phone can work. There must be materials. So there are mines. There must be parts. So there are factories. There must be transport. So there are ships, roads, trucks, ports, and warehouses. There must be energy. So there are power plants and grids. There must be code. So there are programmers. There must be design. So there are engineers and artists. There must be standards. So devices can communicate. There must be laws. So companies can trade. There must be schools. So people can learn the skills. There must be money. So strangers can exchange work. There must be trust. So the whole system can keep moving. A stone tool could be made by one skilled person. A smartphone cannot. A smartphone is a society condensed into an object. That is why modern tools feel magical. They are not magic. They are cooperation made invisible. And once you see this, the modern world starts to look different. Tools are not only things we hold. Some tools hold us. Money is a tool. Not because the paper or number itself has natural power, but because people agree to treat it as valuable. Money lets strangers cooperate. It lets someone trade work today for food tomorrow. It turns trust into a portable symbol. Writing is a tool. It lets the mind speak after the voice is gone. It lets ideas cross time. It lets laws, stories, recipes, warnings, and discoveries survive. School is a tool. It organizes the transfer of knowledge. Instead of every child learning only by trial and error, society creates a place where old lessons can be passed forward. A company is a tool. It organizes strangers around a shared task. One person designs. One person ships. One person sells. One person repairs. One person manages. One person answers questions. Together, they do something no single person could do alone. A city is a tool. It organizes movement, shelter, water, work, safety, trade, and communication. A law is a tool. It shapes behavior without needing everyone to personally know each other. The internet is a tool. It connects minds across distance. A road is a tool. It turns land into movement. A clock is a tool. It turns time into coordination. A calendar is a tool. It lets people plan together before the moment arrives. Modern life is full of tools we do not notice because we live inside them. A prehistoric person could place their tools on the ground. A blade. A basket. A stick. A cord. A fire drill. A modern person cannot place all their tools on the ground. Because many of their tools are systems. Language. Money. Electricity. Schools. Roads. Servers. Search engines. Databases. Scientific methods. Laws. Maps. Passwords. Supply chains. These tools are not always visible. But they shape almost every action. When you order food, you use tools. Not just the phone. You use payment systems. Maps. Restaurants. Roads. Delivery networks. Digital identity. Reviews. Electricity. Labor. Law. When you search for an answer, you use tools. Not just a search bar. You use writing. Servers. Indexes. Language. Mathematics. Education. Programming. Millions of stored human memories. When you turn on a light, you use tools. Not just a switch. You use power plants. Wires. Standards. Maintenance crews. Engineering. Planning. Trust. The modern world is a giant tool made of smaller tools. And we move through it as if it were natural. But it is not natural. It is built. Layer by layer. Generation by generation. Hand by hand. Mind by mind. This changes how we should look at ancient people. They were not failed modern people. They were not unfinished versions of us. They were humans solving human problems with the materials and knowledge available to them. A stone blade was not stupid. It was brilliant for its world. A basket was not basic. It was a portable storage system. A fire drill was not primitive. It was a way to summon heat from motion. A cave drawing was not just art. It was memory, meaning, and communication. Ancient tools were often direct. You could see their purpose. Modern tools are often indirect. They hide their purpose behind layers. That can make us feel more powerful. But it can also make us more dependent. An ancient person might lose a tool and make another. A modern person might lose power, internet, or supply chains and suddenly realize how many invisible tools were holding life together. This does not mean ancient life was better. It does not mean modern life is bad. It means every tool gives power and creates dependence at the same time. A knife helps the hand cut. But the hand may forget how to tear, shape, or prepare without it. A deeps helps the mind navigate. But the mind may stop remembering paths. A calculator helps with numbers. But the mind may stop practicing arithmetic. A search engine helps with facts. But the mind may stop holding them. Every tool changes the user. not just the task. The tool does not only solve a problem, it teaches the body and mind what to stop doing. This is one of the deepest truths about technology. We make tools. Then tools remake us. The stone blade changed the hand. Fire changed the diet. Clothing changed where humans could live. Writing changed memory. Agriculture changed time. Machines changed labor. Computers changed attention. The internet changed society. Smartphones changed the shape of daily life. The comparison between ancient and modern tools is not really about stone versus glass. It is about distance. Ancient tools were close to the human body. Modern tools are connected to vast systems far beyond the body. Ancient tools often extended one person. Modern tools extend networks of people. Ancient tools made the hand stronger. Modern tools make cooperation faster. Ancient tools helped humans survive nature. Modern tools help humans manage other human systems. And yet, under all of this, the old pattern remains. A human notices a limit. The mind imagines a solution. The hand, or the group, builds it. The next person learns it. The next generation improves it. The tool becomes part of life. Then people forget it was ever invented. That is how tools disappear into normal life. At first, a tool is shocking. Then useful. Then ordinary. Then invisible. A stone blade may once have felt like a miracle. A wheel may once have felt impossible. Writing may once have felt like a voice trapped in marks. A printed book may once have felt like memory multiplied. A phone may once have felt like science fiction. Now we barely notice it. We wake up. We tap the screen. We check the time. We read messages. We follow maps. We watch videos. We speak to people far away. We store memories. We search human knowledge. And we call it normal. But it is not normal. It is the result of millions of small solutions stacked on top of each other. A modern tool is not just advanced because it is new. It is advanced because it contains more past inside it. More experiments. More failures. More teaching. More cooperation. More hidden hands. So when you hold a smartphone, you are not only holding a device. You are holding language. Math. Mining. Chemistry. Electricity. Design. Trade. Law. Labor. Memory. Trust. And countless people whose names you will never know. When an ancient person held a stone tool, they were also holding more than a rock. They were holding observation, skill, patience, teaching, experience, survival, and the memory of those who shaped stones before them. That is the connection. The stone tool and the smartphone are both human answers to human limits. One is simple enough to understand by touch. The other is complex enough to require civilization. One shows the hand. The other hides the world. But both say the same thing. Humans were never just bodies. We were bodies that could imagine extensions. We extended the hand with stone. We extended the arm with wood. We extended memory with marks. We extended trust with money. We extended knowledge with schools. We extended speech with phones. We extended cooperation with networks. And now, we live surrounded by the extensions we created. Ancient tools were visible. You could see the hand that made them. Modern tools are hidden. You see the screen. You do not see the millions of hands behind it. That is the real difference. Ancient tools extended one person. Modern tools extend humanity itself. And maybe that is what a tool has always been. Not just something we use, but a quiet reminder that being human means refusing to remain trapped inside the limits of one body.